see who winds up being here first. Who's gonna be first? Let's see. Okay, someone's here. Someone else is here. Phil is first. Nothing. Getting ready to ship this off. I sold a ProTech for a friend of mine. It's just one of those little stubby ones. What is this? This is the Desert Warrior green handle matte copper. So it has never been in a pocket. So I just wanted to make sure it was clean because we had it out at the shop to take pictures for me to sell it on Instagram. Oh, it's in the bedroom. I just grabbed a hat. I took my daughter to school. I just got back from taking my daughter to school, so whatever hat I had on when I went was what this is. I'm still sick, by the way, but I am going to get a couple things done today. So, yeah, we'll, it's nice and clean. We're going to put that back in the box. But yeah, I sold that for my friend Ashton. He needed to come up with some cash. He's got two other knives for sale. He has a Spyderco Caribbean, and I can't remember what the other one. He's got two Spydercos that are for sale on his Instagram page. Okay, now it's gonna bother me now that somebody. I don't feel great, but I feel. No, it's not sheep's foot. What? The Caribbean's a sheep's foot. Spyderco Caribbean's a sheep's foot. Is that what we're talking about? Oh, that's better. I didn't even notice that I grabbed that. I got out of bed, took my daughter to school, like got up, put on my hat, put on pants. Yeah, the Spyderco Caribbean is a sheep's foot. It's a discontinued model. If you want to get in touch with me, shoot me an email. I will ask Ashton. I don't know. I forget how much he's got them for. I think it's like, 140 for the Caribbean. Nothing. And then I did, you guys didn't get to see it, but I did a bronze and blue starburst pattern on this Spyderco. Seriously, what? All right, email me as soon as we get off of here so that I've got your contact info. And then now I'm going to show you guys something. Yes, it's native 5 tie. Hang on a second. Let me get a light on. You guys hear people talking. My wife is watching Bones. So let me see here. I want to show you why this was such a pain. So I was doing a bronze starburst pattern, bronze and blue. And I got fingerprints and stuff on it, but okay, you see the milling pattern on it on this side? See how fine it is? Look how wide it is on this side. This side came out looking, because the milling pattern on this is twice as fine. So it's got fingerprint real bad, but yeah, it's a native 5. I got to sharpen this for Charles Anderson. This is going to Sweden. It feels weird to have customers in Sweden and England, Ireland, and places like that. It just feels odd. And then, so this isn't gonna, I'm gonna try and keep this to like 30 minutes. And I'm gonna do a video today, guys, still sick, about Microtech Ultratech. I've never done an actual video of Microtech Ultratech. I did a video about out the fronts and autos, but I never did one about my Microtech Ultratech. My throat hurts. What's everybody else up to today? Just trying to see, is anybody else fucking sick as shit? I'm just poor Dan. We talked about those. Majority of switchblade laws, there is one law. Dan's gonna be pissed doing jack. So switchblade laws a lot of times are state enforced things. There's state legislation. There is what is called the Switchblade Act, the Federal Switchblade Act of 1958 that sets out a lot of things and bans them federally illegal. And that's where you get into your interstate transport. Now, in California, it is not illegal for me to own this, order it, any of those other things, and get it delivered. But what it is illegal for me to do is carry it outside of my house, which I do all the time anyway. It's illegal for me to carry it, and it is illegal for me to take it across state lines. That's, you run into like all federal property, you know, unless it's an issue item, which there are units that get issued the Benchmade, not Benchmade, is it Benchmade? Yeah, the Benchmade out the front. There are some units that are issued those, and there are some that have the Gerber flip open autos that are issued to them. But like if you're carrying it, and of course your duties, the Infidel. That's actually in the stock system. It's actually an issue item. I don't think anybody actually carries it anymore. You have what you're trying to do? I have a two 550 Griptilians I'm trying to trade new condition. One of them is the Black Blade. I don't know anybody that's looking to trade anything right now. Yeah, the triage auto. That's that Gerber, the big bulky Gerber push button, right? Very nice. That is actually a nice knife, but it is big. So a PM2 that I'm gonna try and sell. I don't dislike the PM2s. It's the PM3s I don't like, and it's not that they're not a nice knife. They're, you know, Spyderco does make nice knives. The problem that I see with them is the blade is so short in comparison to the body. Your blade to handle ratio just is horrible. Nice glug of whiskey in a crop. You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have some chicken broth with like hot peppers in it. Any new blades out there you're interested in? No, I haven't seen anything, Robert, that really interests me as far as new. I will say that as far as knives, I saw something on Instagram that I think is irritating. Guys, you want to look at, doesn't this look better? I still have to play with the action on this. This thing needs I had it apart. It's once you have it apart, one of these ones has an adjustable lock bar insert. You have to play with the action. I got to tweak it back and forth still a little bit. There's a little bit of play in that. But speaking of things in the knife world, how many of you guys follow Birdshot's Instagram page? Did you see Max Ace contacted him about taking down the video about the honey badger? Now this is, you got to remember, no, it's not HRD. It's an adjustable Yeah, it's a completely adjustable lock bar insert. I'll talk about that in another video. So anyway, Bird does a video about the honey badger, which I've seen the pictures side by side on his Instagram. I like Frankie. Frankie painted me a picture. It hangs on the wall. At any rate, what I was saying was he got contacted by Max Ace about a video they did about the honey badger about taking it down. And this has been years, guys. This is years. And Max Ace is just getting around. And I looked at the pictures. They don't look that similar to me. There are so many knives out there. It's just like we've reached the point where there are so many knives on the market. You can't come up with anything new. There's only so many designs. Unless you're Elijah Isham and you just add all kinds of crazy angles and stuff and make it look like a batarang, which I think is actually cool. It is basically like, there's only so many things you can do. There's only so many drop point hunters you can make. There's only so many fucking, sheep's foot blades before you start getting into, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Spyderco should sue themselves because that Caribbean looks almost identical to the Spidey Chef, in my opinion. And so you get all these things and people are complaining that, oh, that was a stolen design, that was a stolen design, that was a stolen design. And I'm like, no, those knives look completely different. The aperture on it's different. The handles are real similar. But I mean, they don't look anything alike. Like you could put them next to each other. I was like, they look similar. But Max Ace is just now, after all this time, going and trying to get people to stop putting the stuff up. Well, ish. I mean, it's a real similar design. It's a really similar design. So I fucking got it. I got them all. They're in a box. I have all my grails now. Really, to tell you the truth. I stopped grail chasing. I've got 2 fully carved Ferrum Forge Maker's Choice knives. I've got all the Ferrum Forge knives of the old ones that they made that I want. I don't have a grail anymore, So I actually was able to stop. I haven't bought a knife in 2 years. So, guys, I actually was able to, I sold the ADV. The ADV's done, sold. I'm not donating shit, they're my grails. Let me see if I can find the last knife I bought. I believe. Good night, babe. Have a good nap. Do you need me to wake you up, or are you gonna set an alarm? Well, what time do you have to leave, just so I can make sure, because sometimes you ignore your alarm. 10:30? All right, I'll make sure you're up by 10, no later than 10:15. Let's see. Last knife I actually bought was this. Bought this. That was the Bob T Mastrop CTF. Do I have any other project knives? Yeah, I'm working on, that's what that, it didn't come like that. I modified it. That's the last knife I bought, and I bought it to support Bob, because I know Bob, I like Bob. He's a good guy. And no, I don't need a filter. Normal. How do I get that to go away? Guys, I've done something. There it went. Working on this. This is kind of a project knife. I have not decided what 100%. I might tumble it a little bit more. Yeah, that was the last knife I bought. But after I got these 3, my Archbishop, one-off, my Maker's Choice Master Blaster, and my Maker's Choice Spinner, that were all hand engraved. After I got these, I was like, I don't really need, I was able to say, you know what? There's nothing out there that's ever gonna be as cool, right? Especially like this one. This one is just fucking amazing. like I said, I have, this was a Grail, my Fortis. Here's the thing, I already have a Sebenza, and it's in the bedroom, but this Sebenza 31, you know what I think I figured out? I think I know exactly what it is, because I don't think they've announced it. All they said was they made it more like the Unimazon. The only thing that I can think, yeah, it's real. The only thing I can think of, what's up, Chris? Way to turn around and flip that that Leon Ma that I modified for you. You didn't even get a chance to keep it. Appreciate the work I did on it. That choil was perfect. Anyway, the only thing I can think of they did to the 30 that they did to the 31 was they changed the detent ball to the great big ceramic detent ball, so that it's no longer titanium on steel. It's that big ceramic ball like they have in the Unimazon and the what was the 25. This is gonna be short. I don't feel good. My throat is killing me. So what they did was they basically, now there's no titanium on steel lockup. That's great. I got one. I got a Mordax too. Mine got special finish. Did you sell that fucking Spyderco Lion Spy that I did all that work on? That thing is a pain in the dick to take apart. Yeah, sure. I've done videos about Shiros. Matt's Shirogorov has been on the channel a couple of times. Shiros are okay. Trying to figure out what I'm going to carry today. Maybe carry this one today. Yeah, Shiros are okay, but I don't know if I would pay that much for them. They're, put it this way. But are they worth the price? That's what I was going to get at. I like this more than any Shiro I've ever had. I'm going to tell you right now, this was $400. Am I going to pimp my buck? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. My buck is, I did once. I mean, it was just a small thing. I did two-tone pocket clip, and I did orange peel on these sections, just that straight line around, and then bronze on the thing. But I'd pretty much, there's not much special about it. I've done it before. I've shown you the case. I do have to warn you, there are two Benchmades. See, there's the case. So, I mean, I need a row. I need a row just specifically because things like this. Nico sent me this to sharpen, or brought me this to sharpen. So stuff that I'm going to do winds up in a little slot right here. So I'm going to open up another slot in the pick and pluck. This, I can't really put in a spot because it just tears up the foam. So that's my Sebenza. That's my Microtech, because Ultratech, because my Ultratech's in my pocket today. These are for sale. I have these. I have the boxes for these guys. I am going to sell these. I changed my mind. These are going up for sale. The triple actions. Matt has his as well. You can have the whole set. So I have both of these, the Tonto and the double-edged with the boxes, and Matt has the Tonto full serrated one. And then once I found out this was a discontinued model, I was thinking about selling this, but I was like, I liked it, and I was like, I could always buy another one. But now that I found out it's discontinued, I would never get it for the price I paid for it. And then, like I said, my Riat, my other Microtech. I had at one point 4 Microtechs. I had, oh no, that pocket clip catches and rips the pick and pluck. So I had this one, and I had this one, and I had one each of the Microtechs. I had the Tonto, I had the dagger. I didn't have the drop point. I had a Tonto, this one. I had the dagger. I had the bayonet. And that's what I'm kind of doing. Well, we'll start here. Okay, so that's Nico's for sharpening. There's my Matriarch 2 that gets carried a lot. I mean, I've worn the pocket clip. My Benchmade knife. Sorry about that, guys. I lost connection. So we'll do this quick. And then you've seen these two. This is my Rat 1. It gets a lot of use, you can tell, because it's all stained up. I let one of the guys at the brewery borrow it for a couple weeks while I was working on his knife. I have my Buck. Missed the flipper tab. My Crux. Jeremy Morris actually gave this to me. I got my Gent that Nico. Brewery right across the street, right across the parking lot. One of the guys that works there needed a knife. I let him borrow it while I was working on his. Nico did some hydrographics on this for me. These are Dwayne's knives. I had to repackage them because I wasn't happy with the packaging since I didn't get it mailed off yesterday. The Bob Terzola, CTF. It was a master knife. I just bought it. This one was more tactical. DOC, they did a red ceramic on. It's been carried enough. I've actually not. The ceramic managed to dink it in a couple places. My Riat, my WE 601, my Master Blaster, my spinner. Here's the one, guys. If you've never seen this, if I don't know if you've ever seen it, each one of those scales, Elliot carved with a tiny, tiny little end mill. Freehand with a Dremel. My Archbishop one-off. And I have actually thought about, the guys have almost converted me. Almost thought about taking that flipper tab off and make it. I still like having the flipper tab, but it does make a cleaner line on that knife. My Entac, the first Ferrum Forge I ever bought. My Mordax, which is like the big brother to the Entac. Mako, the Gavco Collab. Mako. Fortis. This was a gift from Nico. Actually, this one and this one were a gift. Nico and Matt got together and got the money for me to get that. And this is the one with the unique blade finish. That's going in my pocket. It's not even going back in the case. Put that back in my pocket. And then my Pretium, which was the first run that Elliot did 100 of. This was the first big run of knives that they did. And he doesn't like it, but he gave it to me. And then I did it all black ceramic with just that green. I'm going to go back and do the rest of the hardware. But that, like I said, I have a Sebenza that sits there. Happy? Everybody happy now? And in response to my sister about putting a glug of whiskey. That's a touchy one, Bradley, because it shouldn't be soft. I tried to tension it. You got to be careful with that. What I did was I tensioned it. I tried to retension it back to where it was, which you have to do. It's kind of, because the problem is if you do it too hard or too fast, it's going to crack it. You have to take the knife apart. I'd actually say just send it to me and let me do it. I'd hate to see you crack the lock bar, because you're not gonna, it's not like a Ferrum Forge where you're just gonna be able to send it in and like, hey, I cracked the lock bar, and they're gonna charge you to get a new lock bar put in it. Oh shit. I gotta get off here, guys. Today is, we gotta get everything out for AmVets today. Today's AmVets pickup. I gotta put all this shit out. So I gotta get off of here. I'll give you a couple more minutes. I don't remember what time they said they were coming, but I gotta get the AmVets stuff put out in front of the house. Not what I wanted to do while I was sick. Yeah, today's AmVets. Yep. Guys, if you need sharpening or anything, contact info is down below. So is my daughter's GoFundMe. I was hoping I'd see Zach Schmidt come in on here. He donated $200 to the to my daughter's GoFundMe yesterday. I wanted to tell him thank you in a public forum, but I'll do it. I think I'll do it on Instagram. I'm just gonna take snapshots of the people who donated and just put up a post, a snapshot of the scroll down of everyone that's donated and put that up as a thank you. Maybe I'll do it on here on a video too. Like I said, I'm gonna try and shoot that Microtech video today. So Bradley, get with me. I can explain it to you. I'm just afraid to, because what you have to do is you gotta take that thing and you gotta take the knife apart. You have to take that lock scale and you've gotta bend it down just a little bit more to give it more tension. And I would say if it doesn't have blade play, because mine doesn't have a real stiff action either. If it doesn't have blade play, like this way, I'd leave it be. Because that's the action that was on it. Mine is real soft too. You gotta, it's just when they're that smooth and that everything, it's hard to go any further because all you're gonna do is you're gonna add tension and you're just gonna add wear. Because there's enough spring tension on it to kick it over. As long as there's not play, and I'm pretty sure there's not play because I put it back together. And if there is play, I'd say tighten the pivots first before you up and just decide that you're gonna bend on the lock bar. So the action on these was a little softer and I can tell you why. Thin, narrow, and long. So the actual lock bar itself, this is thin, that makes the lock bar narrow, and it's long because it's all the way back here. So you don't have as much spring. There's not enough, as much material to make it springy. You see what I'm saying? If this was a broader handle and then the lock bar cutout was broader, you'd have more spring to it. It's one of the things that played havoc with the guys on these is the difference in the lock bar length changes the spring tension, as does the width of the lock bar cutout. So I'd say if it doesn't have play, just to kind of leave it alone until it maybe needs cleaned up, and then I'll take a look at it if you want. But I mean, I would just hate to see you crack the lock bar after you spent money for me to do the orange peel, because that's how I do it. As long as there's no, I'll tension the lock bar to a point where it's not overpowering, it's not difficult to disengage. And as long as there's not blade play in that anywhere, then that's the tension it wants to be at. A flipper delete on a buck, that would be kind of cool actually. Just trying to see. Be hard to match the chamfers. Well, I'd have to open that choil up anyway. It's doable, it's definitely doable. That would look, actually, that would look kind of slick. I don't like the way it feels without. It's skinny enough with my big hands that I want that to keep me from going up and over. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. It's been 30 minutes. I'm actually gonna just pack some stuff up. Of all the times to get sick, perfect time. It's the week of Blade Show. Nothing is coming in, nothing. I knew this. I knew this going into this week, that there was not a fucking thing gonna show up until like midweek next week, because the show ends and then people are gonna be like, oh, I got this, but I want it sharpened and I want this, and that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna get some medicine into me. I already got the Japanese antibacterial throat medicine. It tastes like shit and it burns like hell and it doesn't give you any pain relief, but it definitely I noticed yesterday that using it a few times that the throat felt better. You're supposed to spray a bunch in your mouth too and then gargle with it. So, later guys.